Have you ever wondered how to properly format your data when creating a REST XML web service? It can be a bit confusing, right? If you're grappling with whether to wrap your list elements in a parent element or not, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into this topic and clarifying the best approach. I totally get it. The decision of how to structure your XML response can feel overwhelming, especially when you're trying to follow best practices. You're not alone in this. Many developers face the same dilemma. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, when creating a REST XML web service, should the list elements be wrapped in a list element, or should the response just list multiple person elements? This is a common question, so let's explore the options together. So what are the implications of each approach? Wrapping your list elements in a parent element can provide clarity and structure, while a flat response might be simpler and more straightforward. Let's break down both methods. And stick around. At the end, I'll share a pro tip that can help you decide the best structure for your specific use case. To address the user's question about wrapping list elements in XML, we first need to understand the structure of the XML response. The user can choose between a nested structure or a flat structure for the list of persons. In a nested structure, the user wraps the list of person elements within a parent element. This can help in organizing the data and making it clear that these elements belong to a specific collection. Alternatively, the user can opt for a flat structure, where each person element is listed directly under the response element. This approach can simplify the XML, but may reduce clarity about the grouping of elements. Ultimately, the choice between nested and flat structures depends on the user's specific requirements and preferences for data representation. Both methods are valid, but the nested approach may provide better context. Fun fact: XML was designed to be both human-readable and machine-readable. So whether you choose a nested or flat structure, remember that clarity is key. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user suggests wrapping the list elements in a nested XML structure. They believe this approach is more natural, as it allows for the inclusion of metadata, such as the size of the list. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. This user suggests wrapping list elements in a parent element, like persons. This approach has two main advantages. First, it allows you to add attributes, such as size, to the list. Second, it makes your response object more extensible, enabling you to include additional data in a cleaner way. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. This user suggests that when deciding whether to wrap list elements in XML, it's important to consider consistency with existing RESTful interfaces. They believe this helps developers understand the API better. Additionally, wrapping elements can improve parsing efficiency and allow for attributes on the list itself. Personally, they prefer wrapped XML because it can be collapsed in XML editors, making the response easier to read. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. This user suggests that when working with list elements in XML, you typically do not need to wrap them in a parent element. They explain that the JAX-B2 specification allows for list properties to represent multiple occurrences of elements directly. However, it's important to ensure that Java member names are plural, while the XML element names should be singular. For example, you can use the add_XML element annotation to achieve this. The user also notes that XML is designed for semi-structured data, which doesn't always map neatly to Java classes. They mention that JAX-B2 was created to simplify this mapping for common data-oriented use cases. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always consider the context of your data and how it will be consumed. This will guide you in choosing the right structure for your XML responses. And there you have it. Now you should feel more confident in deciding whether to wrap your list elements in XML or not. Remember, the right choice depends on your specific use case. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.